In the context of the tale of Lazarus' death, Jesus wept in the Bible. Jesus' close friend Lazarus had become sick and died. When Jesus arrived in Bethany, where Lazarus was buried, he saw Mary, Lazarus' sister, who was mourning her brother's death. Seeing her anguish, as well as the anguish of those around her, deeply affected Jesus. John chapter 11 verse 35 is the verse that captures this moment. Jesus wept. John chapter 11 verse 35. Why did Jesus cry? This is indeed a good question. Jesus' compassion and empathy. Jesus was extremely affected and worried when he saw her crying and the Jews who had traveled with her crying. John chapter 11 verse 33. Jesus' tears show how much he cares for those who are suffering. It tells us that he is there to support and soothe us and that he understands and shares our sorrows. Secondly, it reveals the truth about human suffering. Jesus wept. John chapter 11 verse 35. Jesus wept in recognition of the truth of human sorrow and the suffering brought on by death. It demonstrates that he totally entered into the human experience by going through the same feelings of sadness and suffering that we do. Thirdly, Jesus' empathy and comfort. Some text goes here, then the Jews said, "See how he loved him." John chapter 11 verse 36. Jesus' empathy and willingness to grieve with those in mourning highlight the value of bringing comfort and support to those in need. It demonstrates the significance of being present for others throughout their times of grief. Lastly, hope and the expectation of resurrection. Jesus returned to the tomb, deeply moved once more. It was a cave with a stone over the door. John chapter 11 verse 38. Although Jesus cried over Lazarus' death, he went on to execute a miracle by resurrecting Lazarus from the grave. This event foreshadows the resurrection and provides hope in the face of death. The tale of Jesus weeping over Lazarus' death reminds us of his tremendous empathy, the depth of human suffering, the importance of bringing comfort, and the hope of resurrection and hope. It demonstrates that Jesus is intimately involved in our joys and sufferings, and it inspires us to seek his consolation and hope in him.